Okay, well, so, okay. Well, let's discuss another topic and another type of essay, task 2. Well, as I remember, we practiced agree, disagree, right?
Yeah.
Advantage, disadvantage. Yes?
No. Oh,
Okay.
no.
So advantage, disadvantage. So let's practice because this one is really important. So just first of all, let me write different types and forms of questions that you will come across in your IELTS test. So the first one that is really common, agree, disagree. Okay, so agree, disagree, opinion essay, and we have advantage. Okay, and advantage. Another one, we have cause and solution. Okay, and we have direct question. Direct question essay. Okay, and we have discussion essay, and let me see,
Did you like share the screen yet?
I'm not sharing. Oh, just I was typing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you see that? Okay. Let me share it. Okay, share this one. Okay, the screen now. You can see it, I think, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so, and we have 2 questions. Okay, well, so we talked about agree, disagree, and now it's now about to talk about advantage, disadvantage. So let's talk about it. Let's do a sample together. We can write our essay, okay, and of course we can discuss different part of it and structure of it and how to write it. Okay, well, so about advantage, disadvantage. So let me write the question on the board and then we can discuss it. Well, the development of tourism. The development of tourism contributed to English language becoming the most prominent language in the world. Alice, before we keep going, may I ask you 1 minute to check something and then we can keep going?
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, okay, so in the word, and now some people think this will lead to English becoming the only language to be spoken globally. First of all, okay, you tell me what are, just we're going to discuss it, what are the advantages and disadvantages to having one language in the world. Okay, first of all, you tell me, what do you think? Do you think it can be beneficial or no? Maybe there's some disadvantages or negative points to having one language in the world. So what do you think?
Well, I think the advantage is that people can communicate with each other
Yeah,
easier when they technically you like understanding
yeah,
what each other want to say and expressing things,
yeah,
and it's really like convenience in works or everything lifestyle. But like the disadvantage is like the language could be counted as like one of the most important things for the
yeah,
history of the country. It's like it's one part of the history, and it's also a culture or something. So like just
yeah,
like their own language is a really important things for each country. So like when a language that wasn't their mother language, becoming the only and the most used language, it could be like I don't know, just like a really different way, different like things happen. So
of
yeah.
course. Of course, I definitely agree with you. So, as you mentioned, of course, maybe local and people language like local like culture like language, okay, will disappear if we only have one language in the world. Of course, there's some benefits, but at the same time, some drawbacks. So, here in this type of essay, we only talk about benefits of something and drawbacks. So advantage, disadvantage. So the question isn't asking for your opinion. So no, just advantage, disadvantage. So it's not about your opinion, okay? And unfortunately, the biggest issue, problem people have with this type of essay is going off topic. For example, actually, maybe they don't spend enough time analyzing the issue or the issue presented in question. So because of this, they can't think deeply about it. So of course, so this is the problem. So first of all, we need to understand, we need to get, and after the question and after that we need to analyze it and then we can write. Okay, so again, this is that this type of essay is different from opinion, agree, disagree. So definitely, so as I told you, we discussed two aspects like benefits and drawbacks. Okay, and again, we need to have introduction. Okay, and this essay, just let me say something. This essay can be paraphrased as, for example, advantage is more important than disadvantages. So it's like, for example, I think there are more advantages than disadvantages. So it's okay. And you know that you need to express, as I told you before, you need to express your idea appropriately. So vocabulary, grammar range, okay, so all of them. And now let's discuss, okay, the structure. So as I told you, again, we have paragraphs like, 4 or 5. So we have introduction, okay, and we have main bodies and we have conclusion. So first of all, we need to paraphrase the question. Okay, the development of tourism contributed to English becoming the most prominent language in the world, and some people think this will lead to English becoming the only language to be spoken globally. So, okay, let's see how to paraphrase it. So you help me. How to, if you want to
like
paraphrase it, what you write?
the prompt, right? Um, as English is becoming the most prominent language in the world.
Yeah. So, first of all, let's understand the meaning of prominent because we need to. When something is prominent, is important, very noticeable, important. So prominent means, so here let me write, first of all, prominent means very noticeable, important, okay? So let's write it. So I say that, for example, it's believed, it's thought, it's said, okay, for example, of course, but some people believe, not everyone. So I can say that, first of all, I want to use passive. So it is thought by not everyone, but some people that English, okay, I want to paraphrase, becoming the most prominent language in the world. So can I say English now is the most widely spoken language in the world? Which is now the most widely spoken language in the world. Okay, maybe one day, because some people think, as you can see, I only paraphrase and I only change this active sentence to passive. Okay, and maybe one day, so you can say may one day. Okay, now I want to use another one. So becoming only language. So what? I need to use another word, but what word? I can say predominate. So what is the meaning of predominate? It means when actually be larger in number. So something like, or importance, of course. Maybe it will the most important and the most usable or widely used. So we can say maybe one day, okay, predominate over all other languages and, okay, result in their, for example, maybe it's like, as I told you, all the language will disappear. So finally, maybe we won't have any other languages. So in their eventual appearance. Okay. Why having one language, of course, what will happen? It will have, certainly, definitely, maybe with certainly aid, understanding, and maybe economic, why not, growth, but there will also some drawbacks. So we can say that having one language would certainly aid, help, understanding, as you said, and economic growth, but there will also be some drawbacks. First of all, let's talk about this introduction. So I try to change, okay, this introduction consists of two parts. Can you tell me the two parts of this introduction? What are two parts? The first one is paraphrase, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, and the second one, the second part,
The advantage and
yeah,
disadvantage.
of course, of course. Well, and here, as you can see, first of all, I paraphrase. It's taught, some people think, it's taught by some people that English, which is now, so development of tourism. So with here, actually, I changed two parts, okay? Development of tourism contributed to English. So of course, it can lead or help economic growth because of tourism industry becoming the most prominent language in the world, the most widely spoken prominent language in the world, may one day predominate, will be the most important or important than all other languages, and result in their eventual disappearance. Okay, as I told you, disappearance means vanishing, when something will be disappear. Okay, so means, let me write, vanishing, disappear. Okay, and having one language would certainly aid, help understanding. So I mentioned briefly advantages, like for example, yes, it's good for economy, like for example, like financial aspect. It's good for understanding, is really understand and communicate, but there's some drawbacks. So this is about introduction. Alex, are there any words that you can't understand or can get a part of this introduction?
No.
Okay, very good. Of course, you can change it, paraphrase it another way. Just, this is like, a sample. Okay, now it's time to write our main bodies. But here we have two main bodies. One, as I told you, they should be separated. Like, one advantage, one disadvantage. I need to separate my idea. What are example, again, disadvantage, what are disadvantages, and after that, so I need to give some, for example, supporting ideas to support my topic sentence or my idea. Okay. Well, so let me ask you a question, Alex. So let's talk about understanding between countries. As I told you, yeah, and we discussed, having one global language would enable actually greater understanding between countries. So that's good. Okay, so when people speak one language, of course, it's really easy to understand. You know, for example, to communicate with all the countries easily. Yeah, for trading, for business, for everything. So how, you tell me, that, for example, having one language can be advantages for, but when we say economic growth, why and how it helps?
Mm, well, because it's expressing the ideas in works like tasks, and it's easy for like oh wait, what um it's easy for all the meetings, and people can understand the topics of like some problems need to be fixed, or a way to expanding an industry or some things. So
Or
like everybody, if everybody knows what to do, like understanding all of the details that all the people like contribute, so it could be easy to help um like the products, or the idea that we'll be doing is better. So the economic after that could be like increase.
now,
Like,
of
yeah.
course, it can help. It can grow. Yeah, of course, not increase. Increase is not a good word here, but of course, the first one. So now we need to discuss two, actually, two different benefits that we just mentioned. Okay, the first one, I can say, of course, for sure, we know that it's really good to actually understand, to communicate easily. So it's really good. So I can say one evident benefit, advantage to having one global language is that it would enable greater understanding between countries. Okay, and I want to explain how. Now I need to add some details. So how, when I say, for example, understanding, what I mean. So I say, in other words, what I mean, if everyone spoke, here I'm using second conditional because it's something hypothetical, unreal situation. So because of this, I say is if everyone spoke one language, what will happen? There would be, you know that for second conditional, past and would, okay, would be complete. So here I added another grammatical structure, complete understanding between, okay, of course, not only here another structure, so not only, but also not only countries, but also people, yeah, people all around the world throughout the world. Yeah. So what will happen if something like this happen? Of course, the result which would first of all promote, make it better, promote what? Learning, the first thing. Okay, so that can be learning. Yeah. And you can easily exchange information and, okay, and exchanging information and ideas. So of course, well, so this is the first one. And the next one, another reason, okay, when people speak one language, economic growth. So another reason that one language would be advantages is that it would help or aid economic growth. How? So with all people speaking the same language, okay, business is really easy. Trade, okay, there would be for example, first of all, fewer berries. So because we all are the same, equal, without berries, and therefore trade would be easier. It will be successful between countries. So better. So there would be, first of all, fewer berry and what will happen? Therefore, trade or business would flourish, be successful, better between countries. So this is my first paragraph. So of course, and this can cause and result better and healthier economy. So this is my first, okay, paragraph. And now tell me about the second paragraph that is about disadvantages. Okay, you tell me, Alex, how to write the second one.
Um, on the other hand, um, other language would be replaced by English, and the other, like, the new history could be like remade. I don't know how to
Okay, so let's
express
do
that.
something. So let's write it together, okay? So of course I can write it for you. So why not? Let's write it together. So it's better so that you can practice. Just first of all, before we keep going with the second paragraph, let's talk about some words that I just used. The first one, so exchange, you know, the changing and, you know, for example, giving and sharing information. So you know this one. And we have another one, flourish and barriers, as I told you. So flourish, as I told you, be successful. And we have barrier that is like difficulties and obstacles, like limits. So you can say barriers, that is obstacles. Like this. Oh, I was just typing. Nothing.
Not.
It's typing, yeah. So for example, sometimes now, of course, there's lots of rules, laws, policies. that it's really make difficult, you know, or impossible for, I don't know, between countries, sometimes business, sometimes trade, sometimes communicate. So we have it. But if there is no barrier, of course it's easy. So barrier means obstacle. Okay, is it
Yeah.
clear?
Yeah.
Well, now paragraph 2. Okay, can you write just, you know, I give you the clue and I want you to write. Okay, so what is, let me give you some clues to help you. Let's talk about drawbacks. That one of them that is really obvious one, actually some local languages, all the languages as we discussed in our introduction, finally disappear, you know? And of course, at the same time, along with them, what will happen? Cultures will disappear. So different cultures, of course, it's really having, you know, and actually differences between cultures is really important because it makes the word colorful. It makes each culture is really unique. It's one way of life, and these cultures will disappear. So this is the first one. And the second one, so if all the people are around the world, okay, speak in one language, what will happen to tourism? Maybe there would be no reason to travel for pleasure because some people are interested in about culture, about people, about languages. So what will be really the reason for traveling? Maybe tourism will be collapsed, destroyed. So it can be another disadvantage. So that, and this one actually directly and straightly affect countries economically. So that's really important. Okay, so I gave you 2 clues and I want you write. Ready to write?
Uh, yeah.
Try, it's okay, try. At the same time, I write mine on the board, okay? So then we can compare, but don't use mine, okay? Let's get started. Okay. Don't forget about using second conditional because it's not a real situation.
Yeah.
Well, you've done?
Wait.
Let's. I'm still typing. Oh, good.
Oh no.
Okay, let's read. Wow, very good. Not really many barriers. Yeah, that could happen if there is only just, here. So here you need, as I told you, second conditional. There would be, because it's not real. Yeah, it's the wise. Okay. One language in the world. So and in the situation all the languages would slowly be forgotten. Yeah, I like this one. Yeah, of course, be forgotten and would disappear soon. I like this one. Not only that all the languages disappear, but many different cultures would be lost to perfect. It's known that every country has its own culture. Not only does it show that history of the, yeah, it's a kind of history of the country, so you can say heritage, something from past for future. So here you can change it to heritage. So this one is good one. I will add it to the summary of the country, but also be the joy, yeah, for the people. Of course, that was good. And furthermore, if English was the only language in the world, there would not be any reason for people to travel to. Very good. Each country represents a different culture. So when these things were replaced with English, here I think it's better to change this one. When people use just one language, there would not such new experience for tourists. I like this. I like this one. Maybe a few, like for example, about the history, or for example, this line that say, when these things, I don't like these things here because your text is good, slowly be forgotten. Yeah, it's okay. Will disappear. That was really good. I like the way that you wrote. I really liked it. So that was really good. Very good. So maybe just some points, and that will be great. And you gave me a good idea that we can use for summary. So as I told, as you can see, I just, it's like, not exactly the same, but, somehow can be the same. So on the other hand, there are obvious downsides or drawbacks to having only one global. Again, first, it would mean that all other languages would eventually disappear, exactly like two, and along at the same time, and with them, their cultures. So the diversity of cultures is one of the joys you mentioned this would has to offer. but each culture is unique with its own way of life and perspectives of the world, which would all be lost, as you mentioned, if there were only one language. Secondly, it would result is actually into collapse, like, destruction. So like, destroying of tourism, because there would be no reason to travel for pleasure and interesting new cultures if all countries all had the same language and similar cultures. This would again devastate, destroy many countries economically. So we actually are really close, and I liked the way that you wrote. That was really good. Excellent. So we have just one paragraph, just one paragraph that it should be really short. Okay. That is summary. Okay, as we discussed in summary, again, like, we have another form of introduction. Again, main point, there is no detail here, nothing. Just, again, totally, we discussed the main idea, and that's it. Maybe 2 or 3 lines are enough. So I say, in conclusion, of course, while there are advantages, or for example, plus points, okay, to having one global language, but what will happen? So much be lost as a result. So we can say that drawbacks are more than benefits. Okay, result. What is that? We say maintaining, because it's really important. Maintaining, okay, local languages and of course cultures okay, should be, this is really important, should be our priorities. So should be the first. So we say should be prioritize. Again, I use passive. Okay. What is this? I can't see what I'm typing. Okay, this one. And why? To be sure, to ensure a rich word heritage. You said history. I say heritage. Or future generations. And that's it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, so now you can change, of course, you can use your own method, own way to change it again, but it can be the whole that will, I'm not sure that how many words we wrote, but I think, it can be enough. Like, okay, well, so here, Alex, do you have any questions, any issues related to this part, like, summary, or I don't know, main body, second, or
No.
okay, so just what happened, I couldn't hear you.
Oh,
Question related to this part?
Okay.
Okay,
No.
well, so now, Alex, I want you, the last thing that I want you to do, now we have a conclusion. I want you to paraphrase this conclusion again. Just say, you don't need to write. If you want, you can only say, so you don't need to write it. So in conclusion,
In conclusions, Having one global language could have many advantage, but well, no, like how do you but there's also some disadvantage coming up with these advantage, and uh I don't know, many changes could happen when one language is only allowed. The heritage and the culture could be a really new things to the next generations. I don't know.
So very good. So you can say, as you said, in conclusion, although there are a lot of advantages or many advantages to having one global language, okay, there are noticeable or a lot of, at the same time, there are noticeable disadvantages and drawbacks. Having, okay, we need to maintain local languages and cultures. So we need to make it a point to save and protect, to keep, to save our local languages and cultures. Okay, and we need to actually keep them for the next generation as a really important heritage. So this way you can paraphrase it, but it's a bit like, when you paraphrase, pay attention. It's not like, you change the words to an informal synonym, or for example paraphrase, because it's like we don't like to have informal language in IELTS writing. So the more formal words you use, the better score you get. So that's really important. So because of this, we say don't use the words and phrases that we normally use speaking. Or just, yeah, in speaking you can use anything you want. Of course, this is a bit different, but in writing it's better not to use. And, of course here, because I am typing, sometimes I don't pay attention to the punctuation, like for example, period, or for example question mark or comma, but you need to. That is really a capitalization, punctuation, they're really important. Spelling, so of course I don't check because I only type. I don't check the spelling of the words perfectly, just I want to type it very quickly. So it's like you need to, first of all, if you need to use question mark, if you need to use, for example, comma, or for example, exclamation mark, or if you need, this is the beginning, I need to use capital letter, name, capital letter. So that's really important. And of course, spelling, please check, sometimes, because especially, so when we're typing, when we're writing, because we're doing very quickly, just, it happens that, okay, we don't pay attention and notice what we wrote or type. Just, you need to proofread, to check for spelling, for mistake, for example, marks or everything, okay?
Yeah.
Totally. I really like the way that you wrote your second paragraph. That was really good. Excellent. Yeah, just keep going.
Yeah.
And okay, so have a great time, and of course, just break a leg. Yeah, I wish the
Yeah.
best at, your exam. So test, so what it is, it's like exam, your test, or whatever you have. And I wish the best result for you, and you can just do your best and break a leg. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. And have a good vacation. Of course, you have some off
Yeah.
days, so have a good vacation. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.